Hi guys, my name is Nonema Tigela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about the day the courtroom broke its own rules on the Senzo Meyiwa trial. In every courtroom, no matter the country, no matter the case, there is one unbreakable principle. Procedure is the backbone of justice. Procedure is the backbone of justice, wherever you go. It's the silent architect holding everything, architecture that is holding everything together. And when that collapses, nothing else stands. But last week on the Senzo Meyiwa trial, murder trial, a trial already drowning in controversy, something happened that seasoned lawyers, retired judges, and legal academics are calling one word: unprecedented. Unprecedented. A moment so shocking, so irregular, so destabilizing that people set up, stand as the foundations of courtroom fairness shook. Let's begin with what should have happened. The defense calls its witness, a witness they have prepared, a witness they have structured their case around. The law is simple. Once the defense witness enters the stand, the floor belongs to the defense. They lead, they question, they present their case to the courts. This is not optional. This is not flexible. This is a fundamental pillar of the adversarial system. That's exactly what it is. In any criminal trial, the order of evidence is not just tradition, it's constitutional logic. The defense leads its evidence. Only when they are completely done does the state rise for cross-examination. If the state wants to call a witness, they will wait their turn. They do so in their face, their time, their lane, not in the defense time. No. The judge's role to be a referee, to ensure fairness, not to take the steering wheel and redirect the vehicle mid-journey. That's not what he is supposed to do. But then in front of a nation watching, the courtroom took an unexpected turn. Defense witness ready, evidence about to begin, the legal script perfectly set, and then the judge stops everything, not to clarify, not to rule, but to call the state witnesses. In the middle of defense evidence, in the middle of their witness. This does not happen. It breaks every known practice of criminal procedure. It bends the structure of fairness. It blurs the boundaries between judge and prosecution. In law, perception is everything. Justice must not only be done, it must be seen to be done. So when a judge interrupts a defense witness to summon prosecution witness, it sends one message: the rule no longer apply. And when the rule falls, fairness falls with them. This moment doesn't just create controversy, it creates legal risk for the entire country. Judicial system yonke. This moment does not just create controversy, it creates legal risk. It creates grounds for appeal, a mistrial argument, accusation of bias, public distrust, institutional embarrassment. That is what it's doing. This trial already sits under the heaviest spotlight in South Africa. Every move is scrutinized. Every decision is recorded. And now this, a procedural anomaly of historic proportions. That is what is happening. This trial has been chaotic, delayed, accusatory, politically, emotional, but this moment, this one is different. This is not about emotions, not about personalities, not about the drama or the politics. This is about law, pure, cold, procedural law. And when the law gets reshaped in real time, in front of the accused, in front of the lawyers, and in front of the nation, the integrity of the entire process comes into question. That's exactly what happened. So the question is simple and explosive. Has the court lost its way, or is this trial being bent under pressure? What's happening? A judge intervening in the defense phase to call state witness is not a small procedural hiccup. It is a legal nuclear bomb. Because now everything becomes very questionable. What's going on? Why is Judge Rata doing this? Why is dealing with something that is irrelevant? The inquiry itself has nothing to do with the application that Baloyi did. Why is he not ruling for the application? The Senzo Meyiwa trial is no longer just a murder case. It is a test of fairness, of procedure, of judicial discipline. And also, it is a test of exposing judges, exposing the judicial system, exposing the NPA. That is what it's doing, exposing the police. Because what we've been seeing here, it's nothing short of those things. Expose of everything. They expose the investigation of the entire case. They exposed the contradictions. They exposed the police that were involved in this investigation. It exposed the fabrications. It exposed a lot of things. It's not even funny. It's not even funny anymore. It's not even nice. A lot is happening at once in that Senzo Meyiwa case. And all of this, if and when the dust, okay, let's start like this. The Senzo Meyiwa trial is no longer just a murder case. It is a test of fairness, of procedure, of judicial discipline. And when the dust settles, the country will have to confront one truth. If a court can rewrite the rules in full view of the nation, what happens when no one is watching? What happens when no one is watching? Because things happened right in front of our very own eyes. Things happen just in front of our very own eyes. Things became very questionable, very weird while we were watching. And Judge Rata was like, I remember him at some point saying that he's not part of the nonsense. Now it's becoming nonsensical and he's becoming part of the nonsense. I don't know what he thinks is happening here. Sometimes you sit and wonder, does this man forget that we are live on television? People are watching when he does these things. Does he? But wait, he's sitting there, he sees the cameras and everything. So there's no way that he's not aware of what is happening. He's absolutely very much aware. No, he is very much aware, guys. He knows what is happening. He knows. I was just sitting thinking, there are big cameras in that courtroom. Judge Ratamosi is very smart. That one we can't take away from him. He sees the cameras. But it's either he's disrespectful or he doesn't care or he believes in his protection. But he will be protected. Nothing will happen to him. He believes in that, ne? Maybe he does. Maybe he believes in his friends that they will save him. Maybe that's why he's acting like this. But what I like about all of this is that the cookie is crumbling and there's no one to collect it from down. That's the bottom line. And one thing that I must tell you is that Jehovah is looking down on us and he's like, I'm giving you time, boys, deal with this, sort this out. And instead of sorting it out or people removing themselves from the entire mess, people are busy adding other problems on top of the already very much problematic issues that are there. People are adding them in that list. It's not funny. Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts when it comes to this? Because wow, Sana, the Senzo Mewa case has become something else that is unimaginable. I'll see you on our next video. I want to hear your views on the comment section. Let's have a discussion there. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.